Hi, in this video, we're going to talk more about linked local addresses. Here, we're going to talk about manually created linked local addresses just for Cisco iOS, because that's really the only place we need to manually create a linked local address is on the router. So let's take a look. All right, so linked local addresses, we said that they can be randomly or automatically created using EUI64 or randomly generated. So that in the previous video, and devices will do that by default, including Cisco iOS. What we're going to take a look at is the manual configuration. Okay, so again, this is only necessary on routers. All right, so to manually create a linked local address, we say IPv6 address, just like we're creating any IPv6 address, global, unicast, or link local. And then we say FE80:1. However, although the operating system knows this is a linked local address because it's FE80 here, notice that to create a linked local address, we have to say link local as our parameter. Okay. So we say IPv6 FE80:1 link local. Okay, that will create the link local address. Now we can create the same link local address on both interfaces. So what we are doing here is creating this link local address both on this interface and on this interface. And remember, link local addresses only have to be unique on the link. Now, I'll talk about best practice here in a moment, although this is fine to do. I would say, it's more common, or I don't say more common, but I'll talk about why it's best practice to actually make those unique. Okay, and there we go right there. They only have to be unique on the link. Okay, so I do mention here that a practical method, this is fine for point-to-point router links, but on client-facing links, it's good to use the VLAN number. We'll talk more about that a little later, but I'll show you an example of actually how to make them unique. So right here is an example of making these addresses unique. So on router R2, for example, oh, actually, I'm not making them unique yet. Sorry about that. I'm using the same link local address on all routers. So remember, R1 had FE80:1. R2 is using this address on both interfaces, FE80:2. And R3 is using this address on both of its interfaces. They only have to be unique on the link. Okay? So R2's is FE80:2 on this interface here. Actually, I'm pointing to the wrong one, but this interface here, there we go. And let me make sure I get the right one here. R3 is FE80:3 on this interface right here. Okay, it does have another FE80:3, but that's right over here. Different link. Okay, they only have to be unique on the link. Okay, so remember they only have to be unique. So here we have a router, three of the same link local address on three interfaces. Okay, but they only have to be unique on the link. So as we can see, although the router has the same link local address on three interfaces, as long as it's unique on those three links, each of those links, we're good. Okay. All right, this is just an example of how creating them different interface ID for each router. Talk more about this later, but usually on your client facing, when I say client facing, we have a local area network here. So here we have G00. Typically what I would do is say FE80:, make this signify the router. So this is your router here. And then so it's all zeros, and then a 2 for whatever your router ID or however you want to signify the router. And then this part here would be your VLAN ID. I just put an A for now, okay? But that would be your VLAN number. So let's say this is a VLAN 10, okay? Remember, this is hex A, so A equals 10 in decimal. That should be DEC. There we go. 10 decimal. Okay. Okay. All right. So that's kind of the best practice, is to, you know, a router ID. So all the link local addresses on this router would begin with 2. Oh, that should be pointing to this router here. Yeah, sorry about that. So and then there's no client facing LANs, but I think you get the message. Sorry about that. Actually, just to make it clear here, let's use let's use this router 3 here, because it does have a G00. Okay, so here we are. Sorry about this. Let's go here, G00. Let's say this is VLAN 10. Okay, over here, where the Linux PC is. Here we go. This will make more sense. And then this is a 10. The A is 10 in decimal, right? Decimal 10. Okay. And this is the router ID, 3. All right. I feel better about that. There we go. All right. That's all there is to manually creating a link local address on Cisco IOS. It's really that simple.